hate puppies.
Ooh,
It's a good podcast.
it's good to have beer on draft.
Speaking of draft,
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, your only source for fantasy football information.
today is the day. Boom.
That's not entirely accurate. I think everyone knows where we stand. We don't like hearing about your fantasy team.
Well,
we don't care.
I don't think we're the only source for it either. I think there's more than one other.
Yeah, but we are the source, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure we are the source. I was told today.
Source of what?
I was told today to sneak up and get quarterback for the Giants. Apparently, that's the big
Daniel
inside.
Jones?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah, apparently he's the hot shit and he's going late.
All right. Yeah.
Now you know. There's the fantasy pro tip.
You don't have to worry about me stealing that idea from you.
I don't even want the idea. My barber told me that.
Art, the guy now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to him.
Oh, he's good. He's
I would
good.
say the Saints kicker.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
The rookie? Yeah.
Yeah, out of Notre Dame. They let Lutz go.
Listen to this two-time homer.
Stu loves a
Saints
fucking kick.
and Notre Dame. You forget all the teams Stu is loyal to.
And don't forget that Stu is famous for drafting kickers before anybody
Yes,
else.
he is.
Like
Fifth round.
fifth round.
Yeah.
He'll be like, got him, bitch. An unknown,
That's what he
unproven
does.
commodity.
Yeah,
He's ahead of the game.
which is why all my fantasy leagues, my average is 500.
Yeah, that's about right, because kickers only do so much. All right, Troy's about to have a meltdown.
Mike Stan.
I'm having mic stand issues.
Mike Stan's just not working.
Is it
with
playing through? Can you hear it?
Of course.
Oh,
Everyone
okay.
heard that. For the
Oh, okay.
first minute, it was Stu talking about kickers and you going, wah, wah,
Well, then we're nailing it.
So we're crushing it.
Crushing it.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are brought to you by Screen Door Mortgage. If you haven't had a chance to get a mortgage, well, now's the time. I guess, well,
Do they hear Stu eating?
Spoke with him today. He's doing great. He's helping me out, closing a deal, hopefully.
see, there you go.
Good night.
Right from the source.
Yeah.
Stu says 5 stars. Screen Door Mortgage. Reach out to Jimmy. He'll take care of
Yeah.
you. And you can talk about the jokes you heard on this podcast. Give you something to talk about with your mortgage broker. I guess that's a sideways plug then, too, if you need a real estate agent. Stu!
Stu knows people.
There you go. Just reach out to us at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com and we'll send the lead right on over.
As soon as Stu shows up.
No, don't do that. That'll take a little while.
Well, he showed up tonight because we have the draft and I had a hat for him. So, we have to entice him.
Yes. Tonight is the...
You guys just don't fit in my schedule anymore.
Oh,
you think,
yeah.
You think this fits in our
schedule? Yeah. Yeah. This just all the free time Brennan and I have. We can't wait to get out here and do this because we just have unlimited free time.
It's the best. It's the best. But tonight it kind of worked out.
This motherfucker just said.
I know. You know what feels good, though? It feels good to have beer back on draft. It has been
It's
since
been a minute.
about football season last year.
Yeah.
So
What you put on tap?
Tiny Bomb by Wiseacre out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
We should have delied that.
And then, well, I guess technically we still could. And then we also have Miller Lite. It's the new light beer from Miller.
I don't know if I'd heard of any of those words put together before you said them.
Well, I already got us a deli, though.
Oh, okay. Well, then that was very kind of you.
But now next week I don't have to. You're right.
Yeah.
We'll see which way it shakes out. I don't know if these taps are even working because I just set them up.
Oh, no.
I ran out here. I
Yeah.
shook everything in my car. And
Well, that's good, right?
yeah, you want to give it some effervescence.
Yeah. They make those cake shakers, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I don't have one, so I have to do it the
you do it
old-fashioned way.
manually.
Yeah. I did almost trip and eat shit coming across the,
Oh,
the
no.
yard. I was carrying the keg, and I was walking along, and I caught my foot on something. And usually you catch your foot, it's no big deal because, you're used to your body weight and your center of gravity.
Your balance kicks in.
What I wasn't used to was a keg in front of me, and it just started going. I was like, whoop, 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 whoop. But
You're three stooging it across the yard.
I pulled it off, thank
Nice.
goodness. But it's amazing how quickly all the thoughts went through my head. I was like, we're not doing the draft tonight. I'm not doing a podcast. I'm about to be injured.
Was that the quarter or the sixth?
The quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6
You're
doesn't throw you off as much.
You're lucky you didn't like slam your shin into the quarter and like really do some damage when you were trying to like catch yourself.
I did do that up at the Total Wine returning the keg show.
Yeah.
I was like carrying the keg in front of me and like they have it in this wonky little spot that's kind of behind the registers.
Yeah.
And there was a guy selling or doing tastings of Devil's Backbone smashes right on the other side. And he was like, "You want a smash?" And I was like, I do.
Yeah.
And like, so I was coming around and I couldn't really see what was going on. I was staring over at all the smashes like, ooh, I'd like to drink all those. And I slammed my shin into a cart that I didn't know was just sticking out. I couldn't see the keg show. And it was like, wham. And then I fell forward there too. But fortunately, I had the keg up high enough that it broke my fall into the spot where they're keeping them.
You're like a glove, like you meant to do it. Like
I was trying to look as cool as I could, but it goes tank to tank into all the kegs. And then it rolled into some boxes and nestled in like the wrong place. And I just casually turned around. And I was like,
did you finger gun anybody? Like, yeah, that's right.
You got it.
I thought you were going to say you just bailed with the keg into all the smashes.
No, I just, no, he was fortunately a couple feet away. He definitely saw it. So then I went over there and said, "I'd love a smash."
And he's like, "No, you're cut off."
What they have a dude in there for? Everybody knows you have.
So there were two things.
An above average female dressed scantily clad and compared to, not like club wear, but like, done up. And then every Joe Schmo that goes in there tastes whatever trash you're selling and then feels obligated to buy it.
So I can tell you how this went down.
All right.
I walked in and there was an attractive girl.
Okay.
But she was a different kind of attractive. Like, it was like one side of her head was like shaved down and the other half was blue but long. And it was like just kind of a weird Two-Face out of like a Marvel comic kind of look. But she was a good looking girl.
Yeah.
And of course dressed appropriately for selling booze. And she's like, "Would you like to try this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So tried that. Bought a 4-pack.
Yes.
Then put down the 4-pack on his spot, crashed into all the stuff, staggered back around, had a sip of his and was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I don't need this." Took her 4-pack off of his stand and walked away.
That would be the perfect example of like just live action, real life. Like if there was a camera there, just catching that literally whole interaction, like, you would just go to every new hire and training session, and you'd be like, "Okay, ladies," because you were all ladies. What do we here's how and why you have a job, and here's how you do it. Yeah. Well, she didn't do anything. Exactly. Just stand there. The guys will come in and they will buy your booze.
And I can assure you that when I left, there was a crowd around her table trying drinks. And this Oliver Anthony looking dude.
Yeah.
That's exactly, he looked like Oliver Anthony, the guy who sings Rich Men North of Richmond.
Yeah.
And he was just standing there like, "Oh, shucks," tucked over by the keg corner. No traffic whatsoever.
I know I told the story before, but I bought a bottle of, Kettle One or something, like at the ABC store from a girl who was a dime, like and it was trash. It was like Kettle One Botanicals or something like that.
Ooh, sounds bad.
It was awful, and I was like, I tried it, and I'm guilty about this when I try anything. Like if I've tried it. You've got me to about 50% of the way to purchasing it, so I don't need much of a push.
That's true.
But so you're an ugly dude. I can easily get away from that. I can easily be like, "Thank you, kind sir. I'm not interested in your product."
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Exactly.
It's not for me, but keep up the good work.
But if you're some attractive female, it's going to be like,
"Don't mind if I do."
Yeah.
What's the product that you're going to go pay attention to that a dude's selling?
Steroids. Yeah, testosterone.
Yeah,
I'd rather get my testosterone sipping 8.
I mean,
I was gonna say weights or like workout equipment, but then I was thinking, I don't know, if a dime piece was selling some workout equipment, I'd be like, "And what do you use to stay in such fine shape?"
It's the only thing I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
she uses
for your average red-blooded American male, like, it doesn't matter. If an attractive female selling it, you're in the market.
I bought pest services because the
Yes.
girl who showed up at my front door.
That's
was
a great
attractive.
example.
I'm
Like-
locked in a fucking 2-year contract with this company.
Yeah, but your wife will have you out of that soon enough.
Yeah, but didn't you buy?
So far, so good, actually.
Didn't you buy meat from didn't the guy sell you the Schwann's guy?
We're not saying we won't buy from
Oh, no, I'll
dudes.
buy from dudes if I genuinely want a product.
Yeah.
But if I'm on the fence with a product,
Female will put
it
you over
certainly
the edge.
puts me over the edge. I have a harder time saying no.
Especially depend in the price point too. Like, I'm not going to buy a $30,000, $20,000, $10,000 like product, like a car or something. Like, I'm not going to make big rash decisions.
Okay, but you are going to a car lot and you want to spend $30,000 on a car,
yeah.
and you see two comparable cars, one of them being sold to you by an attractive woman and one of them being sold by a man. It's the only difference between the two cars. The price is the same. You're going with the woman.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
Well, now it doesn't matter because it used to be like you would go to the car lot and the dude, because it was normally dudes, would know all the details, and we cared about the details. What's it haul? What's how many horsepower?
That's not the case anymore.
But now that's not the case. Like, one, the people at the car lots don't know.
I know more sometimes
Yeah.
because I've done the research.
But your average American doesn't care either. Like, you can almost count on all these cars getting in and starting up and driving off. So it's not like,
Yes.
what do I need?
Yeah.
Unless you're buying a, F-350 because you need to haul something heavy. It's like, you're just going to buy the car and like for the cheapest amount. And it might have some features you like, and colors you like, but like, you're not worried about like, what's the torque and the, how many horsepower get to the rear wheels. And, the average person doesn't worry about that.
No, but I can tell you where they get me in a car lot is in the finance room. When you get back to the champagne room?
Yeah.
So now that you've been sold by whomever sold the car, and then you get to go back to the champagne room. Now, that is where the fucking happens. Yeah. In the champagne room. And
There is sex in this champagne
that's
room.
right. In a car dealership.
Yeah,
You will not be doing any fucking.
No, you will get fucked.
You will get fucked.
And I have found that if you put a female across the desk from me, I have a lot less questions.
Yeah.
I kind of want to seem like I know. Like,
Yeah.
is that the APR? Or
Yeah,
is that just the rate?
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
Tell me, I like,
I was going to buy this outright, but, I just felt like I should finance something. Just for
and
the
you said
books.
something about the undercoating? Sure, add that.
I feel like that sounds good.
Yeah.
You seem like an honest person.
And
But
you
I've
back
noted-
here in the back of the lot that doesn't have windows, you would know best about the undercoating.
Exactly.
Do these curtains close?
No, I got probably the most effective fucking I ever had was a long nailed woman when I got back into the finance room, and she was doing the tick, tick, tick,
Oh no!
on the desk, and then when she hit the keys, it was like tick, tick, tick. And
yeah.
I was so focused on the sound of her nails, and she was just spitting stuff at me.
You were like ASMR, like hypnotized, like
I couldn't
AMS or ASMR.
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 And I completely was transfixed. And then she was just smiling and working. And I walked out of there with like a 20% interest rate.
Gotcha.
And I had I had negotiated my nuts off with this Marine. This is like a man's man out there. And I'm sticking it to him. Oh, hell no. No, you're coming down.
Yeah.
And that trade-in, it's going up. And I got everything worked out. And then I went in the back. Oh, that sounds real good. I'll take 20% financing. That sounds perfect. In my mind, it's like I know it's bad, and it just went away, and I signed away. Then I had to wait a certain amount of months before I could like call someone on the phone that I couldn't see and get a new loan. So I couldn't get suckered. So since then, I look back in that finance room. I'm looking for a dude I can argue with.
Well, last year when I bought the Jeep, I think I told the story, but I had cash, and they were like, "It's $1,000 more if you pay cash." So I had to go through the whole song and dance of doing all this, and there was no penalty for paying it off early.
It's like 3 months you have to stay on board or something.
And I was like, why are we doing this? But I guess the way the numbers work, or they get credit for getting another loan or something. But I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I was like, I guess my time isn't worth it, or $1,000 isn't worth my time or vice versa. Like
Right.
I was like,
They just count on you not backing out in 3 months.
well, they just count on, yeah, you say you're going to pay it off, but are you really going to pay it
Yeah.
off? Like,
Yeah.
The only time I've had a guy effectively like upsell me in the back room, so I'm in the champagne room with the dude and we're going through all the stuff, and I was like, yeah, why are you pushing that? Like, it doesn't seem like I need that. And then he literally just outright said, like, I'll be honest, we're having a sales contest. And as long as I can get into these extended warranties, like enough of them, he's like, look, I'll get it down to this point. Hell, I'll take this money off and put it on your car. Like,
yeah.
we can move it around. He's like, technically, yeah, you're financing now the extended warranty. He was like, but I'm one away from winning this thing.
I'd buy from that guy.
And I go,
Yeah.
you know what, buddy? That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do that deal because honesty when you're getting me,
Oh,
that goes a long way with me. So
sure.
I did take that. And then every time something went wrong with that car, I was like, dealership. Like, I got my money back.
Yeah.
And he won his contest. So everybody won.
Win-win.
Yeah, that was when I bought Penelope's car. The lady in the back, she tried, and I was enjoying it, but I was like, nope. She was a good-looking lady, but I was like, I don't need half of this shit. I'm not trying to get there.
You're like, I'm buying a low-end, like...
Yeah, it's for my 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, it's a Hyundai. Like, this isn't like my long-term daily driver. Like,
Yeah.
it's for my child.
Yeah, what I need is comprehensive insurance. 'Cause
Exactly.
That's a 16-year-old behind the
Yeah,
wheel.
yeah.
Right.
That's what I need. You can upsell me there all you want.
I need 2 or 3 more front and rear bumpers on standby.
If you could arrange for that. Yeah. I'll give you $50
Can
now
I buy
for
bumpers in bulk?
later.
Because I'd like to do that.
Yeah, it's funny. The insurance on the Hyundai was higher than my other cars because they typically tend to. The lady was saying they typically tend to total them. They have 1,000 airbags, but they typically just because the car's like super light. It's it's 10, and they're like it tends. So it's a little bit more. And
Yeah, when the whole thing's designed to crumple.
Right.
Which is a good thing about crumple zones is like, yeah, the whole thing compresses like an accordion. Then you can't fix anything. It's like,
Yeah, save your life.
yeah, it saved your life. All the energy dispersed around you, but like you got rear-ended and everything up to the windshield damaged.
It's a 2014 Elantra, and the insurance is more than the 2021 Lexus 350 I have,
That is insane.
That's wild.
and the Impala. The
Is it
Impala's
because it's the
No,
16-year-old driving it?
No, because I don't have her on the policy yet. I just
Okay.
because I swapped cars out. I just
Interesting.
went back to the whole. It went up like $100. But
Yeah.
it was individually per car. The Hyundai is the most expensive because they total it.
Ooh, I see you got that sweet 2014 Hyundai now. Clack, clack, clack.
You could just hear her through the phone. Like,
This guy's got money.
don't mind if we do.
Yeah, while we're
That
here.
was the same way the insurance on that little boat I just got.
Oh, yeah.
They were like,
yeah.
what's the value? I was like, I don't know, like $7,500. And they were like, all right, cool, we'll insure it.
When they were done laughing, they said that?
They go, all right, we'll insure it for $50,000. And I'm like, how's the math work?
Yeah.
on that? Like, so I was like, all right, well, how about if you run it at $7,000? And like the difference was like negligible. So I was I was like,
really?
okay, take it back to $7,500. And I don't understand why I need $50,000 worth of stuff for me.
Well, it's probably like, does that include your medical and everything else?
No, that's just for the boat itself. Like,
Wow.
Like I don't understand it.
But when $50,000 new
No, I've got like $1 million though. Like,
medical,
no, I do
For,
have,
like,
I have
liability,
substantial.
yeah.
But like, I was thinking to myself, whatever boat I slam into is going to be dope.
oh yeah,
I'm sure of it.
yeah.
So I just figured, let's go deep on that side of it.
Yeah.
So I can slam into just about anything.
Well,
Yeah, my kids are too young to drive. So are yours, Brendan. But I'm dreading the 2 drivers at the same time in the household, buying 2 cars and 2 insurances and all that stuff.
yeah. I mean, I kind of got lucky in the fact that one of my daughters is taken care of by their mom, and the other one's taken care of by me. But it's
Still equals
not-
out, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's
equals
still
out, but it's no fun.
no.
It's no fun.
Yeah, I'm
But I
dreading.
can tell you, the damn thing gets 40 miles a gallon.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
It's like little.
None of these kids understand that. Like,
Oh,
our first cars were death traps, and And
First cars.
well, yeah, you're still riding around.
Still riding around in death traps that
Yeah.
just burn gas. You heard mine today.
Yeah.
I was driving along.
Sweet custom exhaust you got on there.
Thank you.
Did you get some looks?
I get a lot of looks right now. So wherever I got that Infinity from was clearly up north, and it was the salt capital of whatever state that was, because those cars don't rust, and it's
This
all rust.
Infinity was used at the Morton's manufacturing plant, and they just cruised around and
basically
gave tours in it.
This is their tour car.
They enjoyed the snow a whole lot.
That thing is just rusted out, and I've had to replace various components of the exhaust over the years.
Oh.
But I've been doing it kind of like piecemeal. And then this week I had to go to a client meeting, and I had these clients that were coming in from out of town to go meet with one of their clients, and they wanted me to come as like an expert on one part of the deal.
You keep that car pretty clean because when you do family stuff, it's in the wife's car, right? So like your kids don't leave crap back there and stuff. They don't ride a lot back in the back.
And they don't like it because it smells
What's it smell like?
like mildew.
Why does it smell like mildew?
On account of it leaks from somewhere.
Oh,
the whole
nice.
thing is I'm not enjoying
Yeah.
that car. Like I'm constantly like
But you've gotten rid of the
Working.
rodent issue.
rodent issue's been gotten rid of, replaced the whole dash, but now I was driving to this meeting and these guys had driven in from, Pennsylvania somewhere, and we pull up at the same time, and somewhere between here and that meeting, all of a sudden I could no longer hear the stereo because it was like, whoa,
Yeah.
like super loud. What I didn't realize at that time is my exhaust, where it comes down off of the headers and then starts to go back towards the catalytic converter and to the
So
mufflers.
right under
Yeah.
the
It
passenger
just-
compartment.
It just broke off.
Nice.
And so now it's just kind of exposed. And so all the exhaust is just ripping out straight from the engine, straight pipe, loud as can be.
But unlike being straight piped out the back where a lot of the sound's out of the back, it's directly
No.
under your feet.
Directly under me.
Yeah.
So like I'm listening to the stereo, things are going good, and then all of a sudden all I hear is exhaust. And I'm like, damn, my car sounds dope. And then I went to accelerate and I was like, oh no, that is like ungodly loud.
Yeah.
So now I'm driving around and I'm trying to keep it under 1,500 RPMs.
Yeah.
Anything after that,
Starts screaming.
it sounds like a dragster.
How does what's the Virginia laws like? Do we have to have catalytic converters?
I know the answer to that one
That's why I asked.
because I did it with my old Monte Carlo.
Like, does he have to fix it as it was manufactured, or can he just rip everything back out and just run a new pipe, straight pipe all the way off the header?
You can run. No, you have to have per code. You have to have a catalytic converter to pass state inspection.
Okay.
You don't
Which
have. You
my
don't.
inspection's up tomorrow.
But yeah, mine is too.
And I think.
But you have 3 months on that now.
Is that a COVID thing?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just stopped. I don't know if it's probably part COVID, but it's probably like I think that was like a in to pull people, and they're like, you got to give people some time. Like you can't just wait till the day and be like, now it's on. Like,
Okay, nice.
yeah,
Yeah, because I got Flowmasters put on my Monte Carlo. The guy did it.
but you don't have to have a muffler.
you don't have to have the muffler to pass inspection. Now, granted, this was
You
a
get some
while
40
back.
series Flowmasters?
I don't know. I can't remember.
So what are you gonna do about it? You gonna put like just have it patched right there, run all new something through it? I know
I haven't decided yet. That's why I've kind of been like, now is a perfect opportunity to make that exhaust even meaner.
Yeah.
But certainly I do not. I'm embarrassed by this. So like I literally pulled up to the meeting and I saw my clients getting out of their car, and I saw them like across the parking lot in a reasonable spot,
Yeah.
near the door. And I was so embarrassed
To
by
pull
my
up?
car that I parked at the other end of the lot, like Griswold.
Brendan's on the other end a lot, like hanging out the window. Hey guys, just walk on down. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got something to show you over here.
See you in a minute. See you in a minute. But yeah, so I literally parked and then just got out and walked, and they were like, they had already gotten up the elevator into the meeting, and I arrived at the same time as them, but had to park so far away so they wouldn't know that the guy pulling
Oh, you
up,
didn't have to ride together. That's good.
No.
You'd have to pick them up and drive them anywhere.
If I had, I probably would have just like been like, I'm so sick.
Yeah.
I can't do this meeting.
It's that bad.
It's ungodly.
So I don't know if I'm too old or if I've hit the age or now that I'm processing this as we're speaking. I think that, okay, I don't like that noise anymore. I don't like exhaust noise.
It's not what it once was.
Yeah.
And as I'm saying it, I'm like trying to think why. Like, is it because I'm in my mid 40s? Am I, hearing problems? But I think it's we've hit the apex and are on the downside of like 20, 30 years ago. Like, good exhaust was like a good sounding exhaust on a nice like car with a nice powertrain. Where now, whenever I hear that sound and I look over, it's on a shit piece of car that is probably people just stabbed it, the muffler with a screwdriver or cut something out, like it, or even when it's done properly, it's still not on a 400 horsepower car. It's on a Honda Civic or something.
A lot of that great sound that we were used to when we were younger came from naturally aspirated. Cars, and that's not the thing. So when you have the right motor tuned up, it's everything. It sounds great. But I agree with you because Brendan, when I was shopping for the Fiat, I went and got one, test drove one, and I brought it over here, and it was the same one. It was like the same one I bought, but it had an aftermarket muffler on it, and it had a turbo on it, and it was
just too much.
It was just too it was too loud. I couldn't really hear it because it was obviously kind of behind you.
Yeah.
He was like, "Dude, I can hear you going out in the neighborhood." I was like, I don't want that.
But the reality is that a good exhaust on a big engine does actually sound awesome because what it does is it gives it a throatier growl and oftentimes a deeper note.
Yes.
When you put it on a 4-cylinder, you get that wah, and that sound is trash. So I would,
but it's so few and far between that you actually, because even a new Mustang or a Challenger, like it's not the same as the older vehicles that had that same setup.
I think it can be done.
It can be.
It's a Flowmaster exhaust with the proper one that's built for your car. It will sound better. Like my 4Runner sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Because I got a cheap like Cherry Bomb. Yeah. It just makes it loud.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
I think the word is like throaty.
Yes.
Deep
low,
throaty. Not loud.
Deep throaty.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, so because hell, even the new Dodge, when they're coming up with their new electric,
they're going to give it a sound.
They give it a sound.
Yeah.
Beamer's been doing that for a while, like because their motors have gotten so quiet, they've been pumping sound.
But they're pumping the sound into your car.
Yeah.
Dodge is pumping it out.
Yeah.
Because Dodge is
Here
American.
I come.
Yeah. Like they're going to make it sound good outside. BMW is like, all we care about is the douchebag in the driver's seat.
The fact is, like, they need to do something with electric cars because they're dangerously quiet.
Yeah.
Like, people are getting clipped by them walking down the street or riding your bike.
They want to put little whistles on them. So you hear like
ridiculous.
A high-pitched sound. And Elon Musk had done something like it plays like a tune outside. So it's like, which is hilarious. That guy's the best douche. He's like, all right, you're going to make it play a sound? He's
he
ice cream
put a bunch of stuff in this Tesla where it makes all kinds of weird noises and says weird, like all kinds of Easter eggs and stuff in there.
All kinds of them. Yeah, you can go into party mode in the X. Is it the X? That's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a party mode where like lights go off and all different colors and it goes to the music and like the stereo pumps.
The old brokerage I was with when the Tesla dealership first showed up in Richmond, they came out to we had new construction, had an open house, and we knew the guy who ran the Tesla dealership, and he came out with two of them, and it was the one SUV that had the gull wing doors.
Yeah.
And he hit a button, and the party mode. Now, granted, it was around Christmas time, so he was playing. So it was Christmas music. The LEDs on the inside, the outside were synced up with the song that was playing, and the doors are kind of like bouncing a little bit, and all over the place.
That's
like,
the X's party mode.
Like, what do you need that for?
For fucking awesome.
It's like most things that are in cars and your phone, and it's just like they give you a laundry list of cool features that you're never gonna use.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
I use 20% of the 100% of the functions on my iPhone.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a fact.
it's
I'm always jealous. Like I see people that like take the time to like put all kinds of cool filters on their shit, and like I'm just over here snapping away and like sending stuff out, like not even like trying to do anything.
The picture's the picture.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed that I'm still looking at my crappy picture going, this is way better than anything I've ever taken with an actual camera and had developed by Kodak or whatever. Like,
I'm so lazy, I won't take the second picture.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get a picture and be like, is that a booger in my nose? Send.
Yeah.
There it is. That's
I do like the function that every once in a while you'll get, like, the iPhone will put together a couple of photos and say, here's a...
Like a montage?
Like I got one the other day, it just said, hug it out. And there was photos throughout my album of me and the kids or whoever I'd given a hug to or whatnot. And I was like, this AI shit is getting ridiculous.
That's just fun AI.
Yeah.
The stuff that's going to eat our children.
Yeah, my kids are always teaching me stuff like, Dad, you could like search for like, colors or like things in your pictures and it'll like.
Yeah.
I'm like, who? Like you can search water and like all my lake pictures will show up.
Like I type in dog. That's all I type in and then every single...
That's all your pictures.
Google's is actually far superior.
Of course.
Oh, is it?
Here we go.
No, it is. Like I
Buckle up, guys.
I have the iPhone, so I have the
Google Photos.
Google Photos on it.
No,
and
Google
I have,
Photos is
it's
amazing
far
app.
superior.
Yeah.
Like when I go in there and like I'll be like, all right, I'm looking for ice cream. And then Apple will be like, you've taken 5 pictures of ice cream. And I'll be like, what's not in there? I know I took a picture. This is an example that actually happened yesterday. And then I was like, all right, go into Google. Went into Google, ice cream. And it was like, boom, you have 50 photos of ice cream. And I was like, there's the one I'm looking for. Like it just recognizes it better for whatever reason.
Look, I'm pro Google. Like Google's my jam. I get it. But like,
I actually enjoy having the iPhone and just
like
loading it with
iPhone.
Google apps.
Yeah.
Like I still have access to all the cool Google stuff, but this phone does work better in like the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Like I still don't like iPhones, but I'm very pleased.
My thing is like, I love Netflix. That's always where I go first. But like Prime has awesome stuff and Hulu has awesome stuff. Those are the other ones I pay for along with, Disney and ES, whatever else.
All the shit.
Yeah. But like, I don't have HBO. That's the big one. But like Netflix is like just my starter. That's where I go. I like their interface.
Comes down to the interface.
Yeah. And that's what I like about Apple. Like, cause when I had an Android, I didn't like the interface. The Apple just was so clean and simple. I was like, okay, this is for me.
Yeah. And I assure you Google can be that as well if you get like the Pixel in particular. But now that I've been in both, the fact that Apple kicks everyone out of their ecosystem and makes it all work.
That is frustrating.
It does work better in their world.
Yeah.
I just find you got to load it with all the Google stuff so that you can interact outside of their world.
It's just crazy to me that like, no matter what group I start on a text thread or something, it could be 5 people. It could be 10 people. There's always at least one droid. Like every time,
there has to be.
It's almost like that they have just enough market share to like interrupt everything.
It's so funny. I was thinking about that exact same thing because there's always people nowadays who are like, "Who's the green fucking texter?"
Yeah.
On the chat on the
only person who thinks for themselves.
Right.
Well, I don't mind if it's green if it's not a group chat or something. I don't even even pick up on it. Like I think you have a Google personal phone, or do you?
Unfortunately, now I'm stuck over here in the iPhone world, so I will show up in yours as blue.
You are blue,
which is so frustrating. They even call it out. They're like, sorry.
I just hate that I guess it's Apple that does it. You can't send good videos and pictures back and forth when they both have the capability of doing it, but they're like, no sharing with these guys. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
It's extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
That's because they just want to do it that way.
If from an iPhone, I send a Google phone a picture, does it come through big and clear and nice and everything?
Yeah, Google's willing to play just fine. Google's like, yay. But then when Apple gets that nice big file, it goes, oh, sorry, Android. Looks like your camera sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. I have the best photo ever over here.
Yeah.
Downgraded.
Yeah, they just dumb it down.
It's wild too that like all these cameras are like, I remember the first digital camera we bought to like take out on vacations and stuff, my wife and I, and it was like a 1.2 megapixel camera.
Yeah.
Like it was
mind-blowingly good.
And you could delete pictures right off of it.
Yeah.
It had a screen on it.
Yeah. the what is it, the SD card was like holds 40 pictures.
Yeah.
It's like, that's awesome.
Shit, now we have years of podcasts on SD card.
Yeah. But I was thinking about today because I still like CDs and I have CD players in both my cars, and I have one that I've listened to 1,000,000 times and it's worn out now. Like the CD itself has worn out over years of just listening to it and taking it out and throwing it around. And,
of course.
So I reached out to my buddy who gave it to me 10, 12, 14 years ago. And I was like, hey, do you happen to have a CD burner and capabilities? Because I went online first to try to like buy the CD, but it's by an independent artist. So like you can't just buy it, you know?
Yeah, you could download it on your computer and then burn it if you have that capability.
Yeah, well, he was like, I have all the songs, but I don't even, his computer now doesn't even have, you know.
Yeah, they don't.
They
anymore.
used to come with them, right? Like, and now,
but now
it's like,
the trick is not to put anything that goes inside of it because that makes it thicker.
yeah.
So they've dumbed it all down, and now you don't have it. But you can buy an external CD burner.
Yeah, so like now it's all digital, like, and of course I could download it on my phone and Bluetooth it through my stereo in my car, but like I just like having the CD, you know, like.
You're old like that.
Yeah.
You love that stuff.
Yeah.
You get nostalgia for it. I'm not mad at you.
But it's frustrating to think
it's
that
funny.
like something that was so, I mean, when CD burners came out, that was wild, dude. You could, I mean, we all grew up in the age of like custom, you know, mixing tapes and stuff. But like when the CD thing came out, it was like, I mean, talk about, I mean, I don't know if there was a game changer in my life quite like custom CD burning.
It was the mini disc. It was far superior. You could record in digital quality and record right over it
Instantly.
as many times as you wanted and
I
never
literally
lose sound
didn't know
quality.
anyone that had that.
I had it literally in my Jeep, in my house. I had
What
a
was
portable mini disc player. I was all mini disc all the time.
What was the one you had right before discs? It was the DAT or the little.
the
like you
digital analog tape? DAT tapes?
Yeah, you had it in college.
Well, that was mini disc that I had in college. And I would try to sell everybody on it who would come into my room.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, I can record CD quality stuff. And people were like, all right, that's pretty game changing.
Yeah.
And then it was like a month later, like, hey, there's a CD burner over here. Like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
But even then, the mini disc was encapsulated. You didn't
Yeah.
scratch it up. You could throw them all over.
That's
your
what
car.
I was thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the
it
mini
was,
disc was the best.
but it was square.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
Just
what
like
it was.
Beta was the best.
yeah. Except we couldn't get porn on a mini disc,
Yeah.
so it never took off. Just like
Porn said we're gonna go the VHS route, and then the rest of
rest
movies
is history.
went with it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember, I think it was like 7 years ago, the one company that was still making VHS players finally stopped. So like the only nowadays the only thing you can buy that's still being manufactured is the combo of the VHS and DVD burner.
that way, you can have two technologies. You don't need.
Yeah, but they were talking about like
Well,
the
people
last,
still have to have tons of VHS tapes, like home movies
yeah,
and
I mean-
movies and stuff they want to watch.
Well, everything everything of me 8 and younger is on 8mm silent film on a cam like it was
Black and white.
no, it was color, but it was on a reel to reel.
Oh, y'all had talkies?
They did not have time.
Yeah,
No, talkies is when you could talk.
I know. He said his was silent.
Oh,
yeah,
silent.
it's,
Yeah.
it's just 8mm film. Like my baby home movies are on the reel to reel on a projector.
Stu can still remember going and dropping the penny in the machine and
Yeah.
looking in, and then the
right.
cards would flip, and he'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"It really looks
Yeah.
like they're moving.
It's moving.
This is unbelievable."
But then like after that, Dad bought one of those big camcorders with the VHS. You know, hold the ham. The whole thing was like this big and holds on your shoulder, and you're like,
We bought one of those small HD, you know, camcorders when my oldest was born, and we used it like the first 2 years, and then we were like, F this, like, this is ridiculous.
yeah,
yeah. I have all my kids, both my girls. Their first 8 years is all on the mini DVD player.
Yeah.
I've got all that technology in the house. I've got tapes that are on the little ones, the big ones, the medium-sized ones.
Yeah.
Ones I can't watch any of it. I've got every technology that didn't work.
Well, all the mini discs should be able to be played on any laptop or computer that's got a disk drive.
No, mini disc is different.
Yeah.
Oh, the mini
Mini disc was in a case.
Oh, that's right. I'm talking about the smaller.
Oh, the smaller,
CD, yeah.
that stuff's fine. But
But to your point,
Well,
Jordan,
thankfully, Sorry, go ahead.
I was just say all that stuff on. You're talking about your CD wearing out, like all that stuff that I have on a camcorder disc or anything that's. You got to get it to digital because it's biological. It'll eventually degrade.
I know.
But thankfully for Brendan's hoarding technology, when I got my record player, he had me an amp and a couple speakers, and I was ready to rock.
I did. I have all that crap.
Yeah.
My wife's always like, "Why don't you throw this out?" I'm like, "We might need it."
Yeah.
She's like, "You have 5."
Yeah.
I don't care.
You
and
needed
then
it.
Sure enough, Troy calls. I got this. I was like, "You want an amp and some speakers?"
Yeah.
It worked.
It works like a charm.
But did you guys see that on Reddit? Because I pulled it up where Netflix is either destroying or donating all their as of September. All the DVDs.
I did see a headline. They were like gonna give, and I thought about Brendan. Did it say they were gonna give like certain like lifelong subscribers? They were gonna give them some of the stuff.
So here's the screwed up thing.
You just got off of Netflix.
No, I was one of the most early adopters. I walked into a Circuit City or a Best Buy.
A what?
So it's one of these stores. I'll use
Speaker City.
A Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Come on down to Speaker City. We got.
So I walked in and they had a thing, and it was just like a cardboard cutout, and it was like, "We'll mail DVDs to your door." And I was like, "Don't mind if I do." And I signed up on the spot. So I was like early adopter to it. And I've had it
Hot
since.
Chick didn't even have to sell it to you.
No, just a cardboard cutout. And I was like, that's a great idea. Signed up for the 3-disc package, was all excited, started having them shipped to me. About 6 months ago, my account was like, "You've been locked out of your account." And I went back in, I entered all my stuff, and they were like, "Nope, you don't have it." And every time I tried to change the password, it just kept screwing up.
Yeah.
And it was like, "This is not you." I'm like, "It is me." And I was like a victim of that whole, we're cutting down on sharing. And I'm like, "But it's me. And I've been with you since day one. Like, give me my account." Finally, I said, "Fuck you." Put a different email address in, dropped a new credit card. So that one, they think I'm 6 months old, even though I've been there
That
since jump.
sucks.
Dude,
but then it? I mean, so you don't get 100 DVDs.
No, what am I going to do with 100 DVDs? You know?
Did you close your B&G Columbia House subscription?
Dude, I used to order those things.
Hell yeah, dude. Some of my favorite albums came from there.
So I would always sign up, and I would say Quintaro was my name. And that's the name I would use. Yeah. So
Did you just make that up, or is that referencing something?
I don't know. It was just what came out. And so like I would sign up under Quintaro, and then they would send me all my stuff, and then I would disappear into the dark. Like
Quintaro's known to do.
That's how Quintaros are.
You can't. Quintaro can't help himself.
Yeah. So I would get phone calls forever from like as long as I was at my parents' house, every once in a while you'll get a phone call and it'll be like, "I'm looking for a Quintaro." And I'd be like, "Doesn't live here."
Yeah.
And this was happening as recent as like in the last like 5 years. And I was doing this stuff when I was like a child.
Wow.
Well, but Quintaro has creditors that are like scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, because I was just reading it said that they shut down in 2015. Columbia House, all that. They stopped.
So there you go.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
They're like, before we fucking hit the light switches and pull the power, beep, boop, 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 boop. Hey, is Quintaro there? Damn it. If we closed that one deal,
that would have been
we would
it.
Still be able to operate.
I would sign up.
They're probably calling
time
to collect $1.80.
I would get.
Sounds like Brendan was pretty fraudulent there.
I was getting like magazine subscriptions to Quintaro, like all this crazy shit. We would get junk mail to Quintaro.
Nice.
Quintaro.
I don't know why that was my name, but that was my name. Hey, can we get a deli up in there?
Yeah, we got one in here.
Go for it.
Yeah, it should be the only thing.
The
in there
only beer that's not in keg form.
That's not a keg at the moment. It's nice having kegs. Look at this.
What is this?
Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby. All right, look.
It is time for pumpkin
It's not
beer.
time.
It's pumpkin beer time.
It's August.
Pumpkin spice latte.
It's August.
30. So
this is rum barreled aged pumpkin ale. Scary Good Pumpkin Ale. It's a 6-pack. It's 6.8 from Two Roads. Where's Two Roads?
Don't know.
Two Roads is in.
Stu, do you want a whole one or
Yes,
why
he
not?
does.
Why
yes,
not?
he does. So we, here we like the Atomic Pumpkin. The Atomic
Yes.
Pumpkin is by far the best pumpkin beer year in and year out, and it hasn't been displaced yet to date. No one's been able to take it. But when I saw that this was aged in rum barrels, everybody's doing bourbon barrels.
Rum barrel.
But doesn't rum sound like, with that kind of...
Leave it to the people in Connecticut.
Doesn't it sound like rum with all the molasses flavors you get out of rum would be good with pumpkin?
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with a rum barrel aged the Rosemary's Baby instead of Rosemary's Baby.
It's roads for 2 roads.
Yep.
Here's to taking the road less traveled. A scary good brew that's smooth and full body with notes of pumpkin pie spice, vanilla, oak, and a touch of warming run. That sounds pretty damn delicious.
I was trying to see if we could finally get something to compete with Atomic Pumpkin.
Now this is pretty dope looking.
This is good looking stuff.
I've never seen the movie, but it's kind of in the zeitgeist, so I kind of know what it's about. And this Rosemary's Baby can has a pram, as Terrence would call it, a carriage, but it's shaped and cut out to look like a jack-o'-lantern as well. Pretty sly.
Personally, I'm super psyched. It's hard to get our hands on a good pumpkin. I find most of them suck, but there is a time and a place. And that time is apparently just before Labor Day.
Nutmeg is the pumpkin spice. That's what we determine that it is.
Pumpkin in there, but yes.
Wow.
It's got a good nose on it.
It has a great nose on it. Well, that's Rosemary's Baby. Do you see the nose on Rosemary? Beautiful.
This is different. This is not what I was expecting.
This is wild. Here's what I have to say.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh,
that's first thought.
Since we're speaking of pumpkin, I walked into Kroger and I saw pumpkin spiced Cheerios.
Oh, I believe it.
And I was like, this is getting ridiculous.
Well, all those basic bitches had kids.
Here's what I have to say about that.
I was in a
Basic bitches and all their kids.
I was in an airport on the day pumpkin spice came out in Starbucks, and I was...
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And it was early.
Zombie apocalypse.
I had to catch an early flight, and didn't even have a chance to get coffee, and so I raced out, and I got to the airport, and I was like, all right, I got through security. I was like, all right, good, there's a Starbucks. Let me just get a coffee. And there was about 6, I would say, college-age girls behind me.
Okay.
And I was waiting. I was like, yeah, let me just get a coffee. Large.
They freaked out.
She corrected me.
A venti?
That's a venti. I said, whichever one's the largest.
I'm laughing again. I can't. I
just can't say it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You're wrong in 3 languages. So I just said no. I was like, whatever it is, just the largest coffee. And she was like, what? I was like, the Pikes.
Venti is 20. Large is large. Actually, grande is large.
Yeah. So I'm ordering mine, and then the girl behind me gives her order, and it's got fucking goat milk. It's had the goat removed and all the craziness that's going on. And then she goes, wait.
See a Dallas Cowboys fan just walk across your yard here.
Uh-oh.
It was a venti.
And then she goes, wait. Today's pumpkin spice release day, right? The lady goes, it is. And she goes, oh my gosh, change mine to pumpkin spice. And then every girl behind her,
Lord.
They got all excited. I was like, here we go. Here we go. It's officially fall in August.
Thank Lord you got in front of them.
I did. And it still took forever to get my damn coffee. Unfortunately. Yeah. They poured it.
Yeah.
And then it ran out halfway through.
Oh, no.
And they were like, oh, no. And I was like, the coffee next to it's fine, too.
Yeah.
They were like, that's a veranda. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I want a black coffee.
It's also coffee.
Yeah, just black coffee, please.
Ooh, make it special. Mix the 2 of them. My mind will explode.
I mean,
a Pike's Blonde.
I mean, it happens every Starbucks. You go in and just ask for a coffee, and you can watch the barista's brains just start to explode. They're like, where's the vocabulary? I don't get this.
They have to judge you. They're judging you.
Oh, yeah.
They are rolling in already.
Man,
this is early. We haven't even finished the deli.
It's a storm.
All right, well, why don't we start knocking this thing out?
Yeah.
Who wants to run with that?
I'll go first. I think this is pretty good. On a pumpkin spice, it's pretty
Tiny bomb.
It's pretty high on the pumpkin spice scale. On the beer scale, it's but I'll still give it a 3.5 because I think it's pretty tasty.
As far as pumpkin spice goes, or pumpkin beer, and we shouldn't be saying pumpkin spice. Now we're all caught up in our basic bitch vernacular.
It says pumpkin spice on the
No, it says
thing.
and spices.
Yes, with spices.
With spice. It's not
pumpkin
a pumpkin
ale brewed with spices.
That's what's catching me because it doesn't have.
Pumpkin pie spice is right here on the box.
Oh,
Doesn't make it so.
Yeah. Well, obviously they're crossed up.
Anybody can put a guarantee on a label.
Yeah. Get a good look at a T-bone steak by sticking my head up a bowl. Oh.
Whatever it is, it's pretty tasty. I go 3.5.
3.5? All right, I'm going to go next because I want Stu to be the deciding factor. Big sip there. I totally dig the way the rum barrel plays into it. Mm-hmm. It's super undercover, but it creates like just like I was hoping, like a brown sugar kind of vibe.
That hint of vanilla is nice in there.
Yeah. The vanilla's got a nice aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
I don't think the pumpkin spice is overdone at all.
No.
We don't have any of the spice of an atomic pumpkin, which is my far preferred.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say I still prefer the atomic pumpkin over this.
Agreed.
But
this isn't pumpkin spiced enough, if that's a...
You're right.
Well, so actually, we're probably going to need to send a couple of these home with this guy because every year his family gets together and does a hardcore.
You're pointing to someone that's not on mic for the listeners.
Oh, they can hear him.
Yes, he's setting up for a draft. I mean, the listeners know him. It's been a while, but
Yeah.
but Chris is here. So I'm going to give this a 3.5 as well. In the pumpkin world, though, I would give this a 4, but that's not how the game works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 3.5 for me, but I'm going to leave it up to Stu because I think since we're sitting on that deli line, there's a possibility he could push it over or take it down.
No. So it doesn't have the, like you said, the pumpkin spice. The spice that I'm thinking of that would like be that little tinge on your tongue.
The cinnamon, the nutmeg.
It's not there. The rum definitely smooths out the beer.
Love the rum.
If it's
It's more rum flavored than pumpkin flavored.
yeah, and
but it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's an ale, it's definitely smooth. Like, and I do get, you stole my thunder, but I like the vanilla. I get the vanilla. I can definitely taste that. So, and with the marketing's good. It's
here we go.
You're definitely over. So it's a 3.5 because I hate pumpkin. Like if you were to give me a pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice, whatever, I'm not into. This is like I'm not really getting it's pumpkin flavor.
It's in the ballpark. But it's nice.
Yeah,
all right, so 3.5. So it's not going to get the deli. It's just going to sit right.
Yeah,
there.
I couldn't give it a 4.
That's all it gets.
That's fine. So I went to something now that it's fall, which is stupid.
It's not.
It's actually still music festival season.
Yeah, you went to a music festival.
Yeah, so this past weekend I got to go to the new Iron Blossom Festival here in Richmond. And it was funny because they had big name acts, but not the like.
They had a lot of acts, and when I looked at the lineup, I mean, and this is more of a reflection of myself, I knew probably 3 of them.
But that's kind of where so when I say they had big name, they're like middling big name acts. You're looking at like Hosier, Lord Huron,
But what's funny
El
is
King, Noah Khan. Those are kind of your.
But when you reached out about like you had some extra tickets,
Yeah,
like my 18-year-old knew everybody on the damn show.
of course.
Yeah.
I was like, there's not a big, like it's not a big name brand,
But it's big to the people who know.
The people that know,
younger
they know,
generation knows everyone in that lineup. And so I was clearly of the older generation at that show, but I also have impeccable musical taste.
What?
But what? But that dude Noah
Who does?
Khan we were talking about not long ago that actually ironically Chris turned me on to who's here for the draft.
Shaka Khan? It's
Shaka
been around
Khan.
forever.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
New stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
Gotta see it.
Of course. She's awesome.
But so I had
released
mentioned
15 years ago.
that I saw Noah Khan in Charlottesville, and I was blown away at how many people were there. And I was saying, I have a feeling this dude is the next thing because of how the fans came out. But I was like, let's see how he does in a festival, where people are there for a lot of other reasons. That place was packed, side to side, front to back, whole damn place.
Not in the pictures you sent.
No, but you should see the aerial picture they took right before Noah Khan went on.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing. But
you were there all 3 days, right?
2 days.
2 days. Oh.
Everybody knew every word. Place was going nuts.
So he was why everybody was there.
All the shirts Noah Khan shirts. I was like, I'll be damned. Like, not only is he pulling it at his shows, but he's
What's he
pulling it-
like for those of us who don't know any of his stuff?
Somewhere between like Ed Sheeran and Louis Capaldi, maybe.
We gotta look.
Does that sound right to you, Chris? More folky than that?
I was going to say, you're not selling me yet.
No, but you got to check. Well, they refer to him as the Jewish Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
That's racist.
Well, he says it in concert, so that's the only reason I know that.
Okay.
So it came from him.
I'll check him out.
But he was
I won't.
he's good, and he rocks a lot harder live than the
Didn't Ed
stuff he-
Sheeran and I wouldn't even know the Capaldi guy. If he,
I couldn't pick him
wouldn't
out
know
of it.
any of his songs.
I only say that because he made a joke. He's like, no, but this song's a lot more like Jewish Capaldi, and then he played that. So,
Man, a lot of race talk. I don't know if I like this.
well, he's Jewish.
Yeah, but let's just play music, dude. What are we talking about?
Yeah, the Trump flags were interesting that he kept flying. As he's from Vermont singing about hippie shit. He's like, I'm so confused.
Did the Axe have any problems with the weather? Because I know you had your shirt off in your pictures, but it was fucking balls
Of course he
hot.
did.
Of course, I had my shirt off. dude.
He's like, they know I'm older, but I look okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
the
shave
trick.
my chest for nothing.
Literally shaved my chest the day before the show.
Come on,
course.
dude. You act like I don't know you.
It looked like a fucking mammoth had died in our shower. I was like, just trimming all up. I was like, these abs aren't just going to poke
Yeah.
through. I need to shave this up. Oh yeah. No,
But let me guess. Kept the happy trail.
of course I kept the cat trail.
Pulling your
right
shirt
there.
up really is a great podcast.
Well, I just wanted to demonstrate to Troy that of course I kept
You
the
didn't
hat.
have to show it to me. I would have believed you.
There was this one like
But thanks.
really feminine gay guy, like a different level. You know, there's a whole spectrum, right?
That's what I've heard.
And this dude is like about as swishy as they come. And he's standing there and he's got his shirt cuts off just below his nipples.
Yeah.
And like he's like completely like
Shredded?
barren of hair.
Oh.
But he's got this thick happy trail, and I was like, he gets it. But I was like, but this dude, like, God just gave him that. God was like, you just get a happy trail. You can just tell, like, that's just how. I don't know. I honestly,
You don't
I was,
think he shaved? Come on.
I was getting to the point where I was getting all fucked up. Like,
You were gonna ask him, weren't
and
you?
I was told my wife, I was like, I kind of want to go over there and ask him if he dialed that in.
That
And
is
had
so
this-
weird.
But then I was like, do I really want to be in a conversation with this dude in like Jesus
You do.
sandals and like
You do.
Part of me does.
Yeah.
But
You're that guy.
He's wearing like a sarong and like just. I wanted to have a conversation with him, but I didn't.
Did you
I
get
was
his number?
able to-
I was just thinking the same
obviously.
thing. Got his number.
Yeah, I just airdropped him some
Yeah,
nudes.
there you go.
Yeah.
Here's me shaving. You got any?
Yeah.
Well, the weekend before, I did the exact opposite of your festival. Everybody there was Fighting Gravity, Cracker, and everything.
Old festival.
And it was
That sounds more
it was
fun.
it was a lot of fun, but it was crazy because everything used to play at the bus stop at Radford, and seeing them and these guys, you know, back then they were 5-6 years older than me, didn't even recognize them, but the crowd, I was like, holy shit, am I getting into this area where
yes, you're old.
Yeah, you're
dude.
the old guy.
I was the young guy at
You
the
may as
concert?
well go see
no,
the
I was the
Beach
young guy at the
Boys.
concert. I was like, I'm looking good. These guys are, you know, but it was great. I forgot how much.
Yeah, go see the coasters.
No,
Last motherfucker. So, but
Fighting Gravity kicks ass.
Here's something
yeah, they
I
were
did
good.
notice about
Especially live.
the Richmond crowd.
Oh, I'm sure that crowd was something else.
It was very interesting, and I was trying to piece it together because, like, all right, for starters, we eat a lot.
Richmond's known for eating.
yeah.
Like, it's popular.
There's some big people there.
So's America, though.
Yeah, but I think we're the best.
You think?
I think we're getting up there.
Yeah?
We were getting up there, or at least that crowd was well fed. To say that. And then I started noticing that a lot of the women who went to that show were very militant. It's
Okay.
the only
Like ex-military?
No,
like
like
they served our
the look,
country.
the
Thank you
look.
for your service?
no, like,
No, like-
combat boots.
Oh.
You know, like it's a very militant look, which I know can be associated with like being a lesbian, right? Like that's
Were there
that's one of
artists?
the shades?
Were there artists that
No,
tend to
absolutely
go that?
not. It was
No?
folky as hell.
No four non-blondes.
But I didn't know.
Melissa Etheridge,
But I no.
Katie Lang.
No. The Lilith tour was not there.
Okay.
If that's what you're getting at.
Maybe you were at the Lilith tour.
But they weren't.
Lilith
But
fair.
they were hetero.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, like no, it was weird. Like they were with dudes, and there was all this, and I was like, this is very interesting. It was
They
just
were with gay guys in half shirts with happy trails.
no, that dude was just fabulous, and leave him over here. He was awesome. He had a great happy trail. I would have defended him till the end. He and I manscaped exactly the same way. There was nobody else there I actually identified with more.
He's over there in a half shirt looking at Brendan going, can you believe this dude is rocking no shirt? What a loser.
No way. He's over there going, see that guy's happy trail? That's what I'm talking about. That's who I want to be when I grow up.
Did y'all Velcro them together?
No. That was... And I had to take a minute for the imagery to work through my head before I could even answer. I was like, didn't even think of that.
And only you know what that guy looks like. So in your head
Yeah,
is the
I
actual
saw
guy.
this wafer thin Asian guy. Like, it was wow. Like it all worked through my head. That was wild. And I was like, would that work?
No, wait, he's too short.
Obviously not, Troy. Totally incompatible.
I mean, we tried, wait, what?
Neither one of us had the hook part. It was just the furry part. You know, we weren't strong enough to make it happen. Yeah, but I noticed it was really militant look, and I guess we have a huge swath of the population that just dresses militant.
Interesting.
They go into like a hippie festival. It was very odd. Like, and they had like hippie tops but combat boots.
Weird.
Like, it's a really odd festival. But I thought they did a good job. So my official review of the Iron Blossom Festival was well done.
Some people swear by boots, but like I wear boots at work, and like they're just even. I have really nice boots, but boots are not nearly as comfortable as almost any shoe out there. Like,
Isn't that the truth?
I mean, especially like when it's warm out and like you're wearing socks and you got your boots laced up high, like
work boots.
Boots are boots. Like any boot,
I don't know. My cowboy boots are pretty comfortable. Broken in.
they're not comfortable on a hot day, dude. I
No,
can
not
tell
on
you
a hot
that.
day.
I don't care how you can have Ariats and they're still not as comfortable as a pair of Hey Dudes. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
My Olakais are my most comfortable shoe.
That's not a boot.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, then you
just went to
invalidated your point.
you just went to hate. I'm just saying. Boots are comfortable. Boots are
Like, I
very
don't even have to have an argument.
Yeah,
I just have
yeah.
to keep talking. He'll work himself right out of
Boots
the
are
winning.
comfortable, but I'm saying my most comfortable shoe.
Was your cowboy boots?
No.
Oh, so you okay?
When I said my cowboy boots are pretty comfortable. They're not my most comfortable shoe.
No.
Is this what I'm looking at? There.
I don't think Brendan was talking cowboy boots. I think he was talking like shit kickers.
That's what I was saying.
Doc
a lot of
Martens
Doc
and-
Martens.
yeah.
there. It was either like
Patent leather, like just
the women were either in Tevas or Doc Martens.
Yeah.
I would say if you put everyone together, 50% of the women were either in Tevas or Doc Martens. The other 50% had a wider range of shit.
Yeah.
But it was amazing how many Tevas and Doc Martens I saw. To the point that I was like, I'd rather be wearing Tevas,
yeah.
which is brutal in its own right.
Yeah.
That backstrap never looks right.
No.
It's just a
Did you ever have Tevas?
oh yeah, for 1 minute there, because I was
When they came out, they were hot.
Never owned a pair.
I was sold on the fact that these were hiking sandals.
Yeah, but you crafted your own leather strap sandals back in your day.
Yeah,
when you were watching
no.
8mm films.
He'd buy reefs and then Ben Hur that bitch up with leather.
Lace it all the way to the back of your calf.
It's just a strong look there. Strong look, Spartacus.
Exactly.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a good festival though.
So
Like,
I went to the same.
So
it's the
good,
old-
you couldn't give 2 tickets away.
well, no.
to old people.
The weather was intense that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife fell out day one, like almost immediately. We got through the first show.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not feeling well. Like this heat is messing me up.
Heat and humidity. Yeah.
And
It was just the heat, though, nothing else.
yeah, we had to get her over to the shade. No, it really
He
was.
didn't get it.
No. Well, we'd had a couple drinks at brunch.
Here we go.
And then we did have a drink there. But then she was like, I need water and shade.
Yeah.
I went over there, and that's not something I see out of her often.
Yeah.
So that's the old Redskins training facility.
Whoa.
Oh no, the petition's out there. They're getting named back. They're going back. They're going back.
Just because they're going to bring it back doesn't make it any less.
This is a safe space, dude.
Holy
Exactly. I can talk about anything.
We have guests here.
Could you not
talk like that in front of our guests?
So the very first concert they had, Rascal Flatts played, and the city of Richmond just screws it up all the time. They had, I don't know, 11,000 people there, 7 porta potties. And to your point, when you went, there were, what you said, 2 water filling stations?
2 water filling stations, but if you remember correctly, see, I came up at a different time. I came up with like Warp Tours and like Lollapaloozas and things that a water station never happened.
Yeah.
You didn't get
if you knew there wasn't going to be one, you just...
So I was born in the fires of real festivals.
So you feel like you're getting spoiled at these new ones.
I'm like, 2 water stations? What?
Yeah.
This is amazing. Of course, I did spend a fortune on Liquid Death canned waters. At
Yeah, but you said it was an hour wait to get...
It was. It wasn't a positive thing.
Yeah, because I ended up leaving the concert and taking my girls over to damn Bowtie Cinema just to go to the restroom. They'd screw the pooch on that thing.
Yeah, because the problem is when you only have that, then you just have the other side is the hygiene problem where people start pissing everywhere. It's like,
is that a puddle of water?
No, not even close.
The drainage on this field sucks.
They did have porta potties everywhere, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've learned their lesson on that side.
I never had to worry about like, and there was more beer stations. So like you never waited in line for a beer or a piss.
Yeah.
Which ultimately at a music festival, isn't that really what matters? Like I can get food, beer, and pee without
I hate
any
going to
effort.
any sporting event, festival, where the line is just taking forever for any of that stuff.
It's frustrating.
So just because you would know, Troy, Brendan was saying he estimated like 11 to 13,000 people were at the festival. Like
That's what the official
through the
total
week?
on day one was told to me, 13,000.
So, but
Day
they were
two had a
originally
lot less people.
They're originally going to try and throw that.
Yeah,
in
they were
Monroe
going to do
Park.
it in Monroe Park on move-in weekend.
Well, even so, take move-in weekend out of that.
Yeah.
Is that even possible there?
I mean,
that's like because it's a bunch of football fields where you guys were.
Monroe Park is
Yeah,
pretty big, but just the parking logistics of that would have been a nightmare, which I'm sure was already hard enough over there.
I never parked.
Uber?
You Ubered
I
in
just
and out.
Ubered in,
Yeah.
and then I know better than to even try to get an Uber from there.
You walked away.
So I immediately just started walking.
Yeah.
I asked the security guy, I said, which way to the closest restaurant scene? And he's like, that way.
Yeah,
Scott's
Broad
Edition.
Street.
Scott's
And
Yeah.
I just started walking and found an old restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know if logistically they could have had it there, honestly, in Monroe Park. I mean,
Take parking out of it. I don't think it's 10,000 people. Let's just say 9,000 people drop
yeah,
because the park almost filled up when graduation
I mean,
happened.
you think, yeah, but you think about like the Siegel Center seats 7,500 people. I mean, so that's not a big space. I mean,
Yeah, you double that and
Yeah.
put them out there. And it was,
I mean,
it was,
the one good thing about, and I've been to concerts at Redskins Training Park,
whoa,
as it was formerly called.
You see this?
It's trademarked. It's okay.
There's a lot of things that are trademarked.
I saw Drunken Punk in Drublic there, which was a punk show, and it wasn't nearly as packed, but it was weird because it was during the day and it was hot as hell, and they had like umbrellas set up just in like they look like flowers when you were standing up on top of the building looking down because it's just an open field with just random umbrellas, but it's nice because it's wide open.
Yeah, and
Like
I
it's-
thought this was okay. I really did. I thought I didn't feel crowded at all. I felt fine. But I also was in the blanket section. You get to put down, which is further back from like I heard the crowded section was extremely crowded. And if it's any indicator, a band did not happen after 4 o'clock that didn't have to stop to have security get somebody who had fallen out from heat.
Yeah.
So there definitely was heat related issues.
That happens in the indoor shows I go to.
What show was I just read that like the the person had to stop 6 times.
They're doing that a lot now
Like,
since that
for
accident.
heat?
Like
Yeah.
people are the
Artists
are being more aware of
They're
what's
a
going
lot
on.
more sensitive.
Well, they don't want to be.
happening.
They don't want to be culpable
because
for
you don't want
It's bad press.
so and so dies at Taylor Swift concert. Like, I didn't do anything. I'm up here doing my thing.
Yeah.
Like I pay people to watch all this stuff. But
Dude, he
you know,
nailed that impression.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Where's the audio dreamboat? What do you expect?
nothing but
The
I wasn't
best.
even trying to. I just was raising my
just
voice. Like,
I'm just joking.
We thought it was brilliant.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
oh, by the way, speaking of, I know you're getting ready to shell out $10,000 to $15,000 to see her.
Big Swifty.
Yeah, it's coming to theaters.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw that today.
What? Like it's going to be live broadcast? In
No,
theaters,
no,
or
no.
just-
Like you can
just
you
go to
can
the theater and watch a concert?
the
And you
show.
can see the exact set that you put. But no, that's not. It's not what I'm into. I'm a Swifty, bro.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a Swifty.
Actually, you're
Like
a global.
money-
You're a global Swifty.
Money swiftly leaves your bank account.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, she's raking in $13 million a night.
is that all? Should be double.
Chump change.
Double.
She's no Shaka Khan.
Who is?
Yeah.
Who is? I do have to give a shout out to Shell down in Folly Beach.
Yeah.
He literally sent me bumpers for my boat that washed up on shore
Nice.
in Folly Beach. They're sitting out there on the boat. So it would
Yeah.
be,
Nice.
I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out. He's officially like my favorite listener right now because he did that. That's pretty dope.
Well, I got to give a shout out, and it might not. I don't know who it's from, but it says Folly TR1. So
it could
we got
be.
a review.
Well, we have a lot of listeners in Folly though.
We haven't gotten a review in a few months. So our latest review says 5 stars, of course.
Obvi.
Come on. We are 4.9. Like,
Yeah, because Fiona Face.
yeah, we have one and 1 or 2 4 stars, but I can't find the 4 stars because I think you can only read if it has a review and a star. So Fiona
Okay.
Face gave us a 1 star and a review, where I think whoever gave us the 4 stars didn't put a review down. So like when you go to see all, it doesn't show
You only
anything.
get written reviews.
But if you look like on there, you can kind of see a little bit of a line on the 4 star.
We got a little.
But
of
we're
that.
holding strong at a 4.9.
It's like my Uber rating.
That's right. So Folly TR1 says, great host, exclamation point.
Nice.
Brendan and Troy are storytellers and entertainers. After listening to a few episodes, you feel like you know the host. They cover lots of real-life topics and situations with a fun, free-flowing style.
There you go. Look at that.
Nailed it.
That's a review right there.
That's a
I'll
hell
take
of a
that.
review.
Let's ring that bell.
Go for it.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you, too, can have your review read aloud and a shout-out.
It's super easy.
Really easy. How easy is it, Brendan?
I think it's as easy as actually just giving us a 5-star review.
And typing and spending a minute typing something.
Actually, I'll be honest. If you hate us and give us a lower than a 5-star review and it's entertaining,
Yes.
I'll still read it because funny is funny.
Fiona Face, still
She was
one
funny.
of the best. Yeah.
I assume Fiona tends
Yeah.
to be a girl's
Yeah.
name. But yeah, don't want to assume her gender.
And while you're there, rating and reviewing and subscribing to our stuff, hit our friends up over at Squeezing Lemons.
It's easy.
They don't put out the content weekly like we do, but their content they put a lot of work into, and it'll educate you.
Oh, they're better at like production and social media and all the things that
All
matter
the things
outside
that we
of
don't
content.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. They just don't put out as much content.
Yeah.
It's the only knock on them.
Yeah.
Everything else they do is actually superior.
Yeah.
What?
I'm saying their social media is fantastic. Their imagery is fantastic. I snap a photo drunkenly at the end of an episode and I just put it on.
And you nail it.
Crush it. But that's kind of our vibe.
I know, but you're telling the truth. I'd buy the undercarriage from you.
Respect.
And of course, if you need some sunglasses, which you doesn't, just because summer's over doesn't mean you don't need sunglasses. You go to Nectar Sunglasses, you put in the coupon code Abacus, and you
Yeah.
get 20% off. Simple
Wait,
as that.
Boom.
Yeah. You know where they're out of?
Where?
Folly Beach.
Of course.
Yeah.
Look, I'm still rocking the Find Your Coast stuff.
Dude, I like that Find Your Coast.
I'm telling you, go to Find Your Coast, check their stuff out. They got good sales. This was a 50% off deal. Sign up for their newsletter. You'll get all kinds of deals.
Well, that's a good looking
They
shirt
still
right
have
there.
great looking stuff and super comfy stuff.
I still rock all my Find Your Coast.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I actually did one of these last night. I went through and you ever just go through your t-shirt drawer and like you're starting to accumulate too many t-shirts and they don't all fit.
Yeah. So it's half of my shirts hanging in my closet are t-shirts that I can't wear right now.
So you have to like,
but I won't get rid of them.
well, because there's certain, right? But like I did a purge.
Ooh.
Last night. I was up there and I was like, all right, I got these new shirts. Cause I was like keeping stuff just kind of on the floor because I didn't fit it all. So I was like, it's time for a purge. And I went through and I have a funny system with t-shirts. I have 3 drawers. Top drawer is anything in here you can just grab and throw to me and I'll be like, hell yeah, I'll wear that.
Yeah.
Second drawer is stuff that I don't necessarily wear all the time because either the fit's off.
Yeah.
But it's way too
hard to match with something.
Yeah, it's just something's off. But it's still like too cool to like get rid of.
Yeah.
And then the third drawer.
You love the shirt, but you might not wear it, but you still like the shirt.
Yes. And the third drawer.
You never wear.
Those are the shirts that
you've
like
had forever.
but like you've got a stain on them or something.
Oh yeah.
So now they're like, I need to go wash something or paint something. And like these shirts have been reduced to work. But like they're still cool enough that they're work shirts.
Yeah.
So I got my hierarchy.
Yeah.
And last night I was going through and some things were moving down. You don't want to be in that third drawer.
No,
it's a dangerous place to be. But so we're working through the hierarchy and I pulled out my Find My Coast from the top.
Find Your Coast
Find Your Coast from the top drawer. And I looked at it and I was like, obviously you're staying.
That's right.
And that shirt's like 5 years old.
Oh yeah.
But it's still so comfortable.
So silky smooth. Just
What's funny is I don't have the same system, but I got the space for the t-shirts.
We all have a system, right?
Yeah.
It's a system. Everyone's got us.
But it's a little different. But all those shirts that you are in your third drawer, I either have them in a space. I'm like, okay, these are nostalgic. I want to keep them. I probably won't ever wear them again. But that same category are the shirts that my 2 girls are like, those are my nightgown shirts. Those are the ones they're the softest. Whether they've
been through the crucible.
and they're like, these are the best, Dad. And so I know they're not going anywhere. They're just getting worn.
That's how it's done.
Yeah, you gotta have a system.
But Find Your Coast still 5 years later, it refuses to come out of that top drawer. It's just too comfortable and fits too well.
Yep.
And I'm like 30 pounds different than when I got it. And it still fits awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, your head looks a little bigger.
Thank you. You take everything as a compliment. That's how you keep it big.
The happy trail draws attention to it.
To be inside there. Oh God.
No, you don't want it. Now, thank you guys.
Can confirm.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do appreciate the love, the support, all the things that Troy said earlier you're supposed to do. The only thing I think that was left out is the old Cincinnati swap.
Yep.
It's real easy. Just grab.
I did say go in and subscribe and like, but yes.
You did. You subscribed
But do it
and
for the
liked.
friends.
We did the screen door. We did the nectar.
Did a lot.
I think we've done it all. But the Cincinnati swap's easy. You
Yeah.
just go and grab somebody's phone. They say, what are you listening to?
Do all that to someone else's phone.
Yes, you sign them up. You subscribe them to the podcast. It only helps the cause. And then when they're sitting there bored and they're mowing their lawn, they're like, what am I going to listen to? They give us a shot. And the next thing you know,
They're hooked.
we got another Cincinnati swapper.
That's right.
That's how it's done. It's super easy stuff. Well, now we got to get to a fantasy draft.
Let's go fantasy draft.
Let's draft so hard.
God, draft so hard. I've done zero research. I'm ready for this.
You don't need to do research to win in fantasy. It's a fantasy.
That's right.
Always win in my fantasies. That's what I do. Now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Kickers are important.
And Stu.
My son drafted. He did a fantasy league for the first time with his baseball team.
Yep.
He drafted 8 quarterbacks. They talked him into all this shit, and he didn't know any of it, and just bought everything the guys were telling him.
You know what, though? Now he can trade quarterbacks all year long.
That happened to me last year. That's exactly what happened. I hit fat thumbs. I ended up drafting. I hit a second quarterback by accident, and I just went ahead and drafted 4 of them and tried to trade them away.
Yeah, trade him away for what you missed.
Yeah.
Not bad. Good advice. Fantasy advice. Told you we'd give you some.
Bonus coverage.
That's a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I do. there. I got my spot.